Hello guys, and welcome to another plan with me. We're going to be filming the week of August 14th through the 20th, which was a pretty shitty week. But I will be using the By the Sea kit, so at least it'll look stunning. This kit is from ScribblePrintsCo, and it's like a muted, just like very like ethereal mermaid kit. There's this dolphin towel box, which I will not be using because I want to use her. And here's the extra boxes. And I have the ocean bundle from my shop. And I did it in pearl and ice. So we've got that standard page, that page. It comes with the seashell overlays, the seashell and coral washi, and then the Sea Friends underlays. But let us just jump right into it. I do have my print brush in SPC edit. Also, I somehow lost the footage for this plan with me, so there you go. That's what it looked like. But we are just going to film 3 plan with me's today. I'm very, very, very behind. It's getting hot in here, though. I have to take my sweater off. I actually don't think I have days of the week stickers now that I think about it. I only have enough for this spread and I have to cut more, which is fine. But let us begin. I need to take off my, I don't know. I'm having a very scrambled brain day. Yesterday, I did an entire week's worth of orders in one day. And I feel like for having been home for like one day, that was kind of ambitious, and it kind of burned me out for today, which is trash, but it is what it is. Okay, so this week was actually a pretty horrible week. Chris was journeying home due to the fact that his dad was essentially not going to make it. So Chris was on his way back home. On Monday, I did a post office drop and got McDonald's, and I talked on the phone with Chris. I missed all of his 15,000 delays. I was up pretty much all night with him on the phone, just like trying to comfort him as best as I could from here. And then I was filming some videos, and I unfortunately got the call that Chris's dad had unfortunately passed away. It was very odd though, because both Chris's dad and my mom both passed away on a Monday and on the 14th. So that's kind of creepy, but it was really horrible. I just felt so sad for Chris, obviously, and I felt horrible that I couldn't be there for him and such. These days of the week are in oops, but I'm just using them because I don't like to waste stuff. And this is in font choice 5 unfoiled. But yeah, so we got that news unfortunately, and I called Andrea and I was like, yeah, like I just bought a plane ticket and I'm leaving tomorrow. She was like, well, if you don't want to be like, I could not focus on anything. And she's like, well, if you want to get out of the house, like come over, we'll have a game night to like distract you. And I was like, okay, word. And so literally like I got to her house and she was like, don't worry, McDonald's is already on the way. Like, girl knows what I need. I'm gonna use the days of the week. You can purchase just this half of the sheet in the shop. It's called Weekly Essentials, and my camera's gonna die. Okay, if this looks any different, it's because I had to change the battery. But yeah, so went over there and it was actually so cute. Like Nick went to go get the boys from school or daycare or whatever, and literally Theo, which is Andrea's middle child, he's 3, I feel like he just had like the spidey senses that I was unwell. He got home from school and immediately ran in the house and gave me a big fat hug. It was just so cute and sweet and healing to the soul. And then we played games. What did we play? My phone's literally gonna die because today in real time I was on the phone with my sister literally all day. 14th. Oh yes, we ended up having like, I think we were already scheduled to have a game night, so I just went over earlier. But we played Forest Shuffle, 2 games of 3 Sisters. We played a game of Trash, Pandas, Cascadia, Splendor, and Everdell Far Shore. Basically, we were playing a bunch of 4-player games that Tony had been wanting to try, since we're usually a 5-player group. So that was fun. I mean, I don't really care for Far Shore that much, or Splendor. I actually don't like Splendor. It's like a very 2 out of 5 game, but I'm also undefeated. Like, why am I randomly good at this game that I don't even really like? Maybe it's because I don't take it too seriously. Who knows? But we did that, and then the next day I woke up in the morning and finished packing, because I kind of had like haphazardly packed the night before, and I literally like didn't even have a suitcase because Chris had taken my suitcase and I had ordered one and it wasn't going to be there until Tuesday afternoon. So I had borrowed Andrea's suitcase, I borrowed Andrea's headphones, I borrowed her like MagSafe charger. I had literally half of her belongings, but finished packing, and then I got Sonic on the way to the airport, ate that in the car, and then headed to the airport. I did read a book on the flight. I was reading What Lies in the Woods, which was very meh. I gave it 3 stars, but honestly, I think I should have given it 2. It was not very good. Got Shake Shack at the... What airport was my layover? Chicago, possibly? Charlotte? Chicago? I don't really know. Regardless, I got Shake Shack, aka I got cheese fries, because I was starving to death, basically. Okay. So, basically, yeah. So I got that, and then my flight just kept repeatedly getting delayed to the point, like, I was supposed to leave Friday morning, but like I was gonna need to spend the whole next day sleeping because of how many delays I had. So I literally ended up changing my flight to leave Sunday. It was only like, I think like $4 difference to change my flight, and I was just like, okay, yeah, that's like worth it at this point, because like I'm barely even gonna be there. So I ended up taking care of that, and then I talked on the phone with Chris for a bit, and then I FaceTimed with my sister, because initially she was going to be the one picking me up from the airport, but then my flight just kept getting delayed and she had to work in the morning. So basically Chris's mom, she's a sweet angel, she told Chris he could just take her car to come pick me up. So, but it was so funny because I was talking to her on the phone and she was like making a banana bread, and I'm like, okay, well, you don't have to get me. And she's like, well, now I have to stay up until this banana bread's done. So it was really funny. And then I literally finally got there at like 2 o'clock in the morning. It was wild. And we had to wake up pretty early the next morning to go to the funeral home. Chris's dad had like it in his will that like his wishes were to not have a funeral, and he just wanted to be cremated. And so we had just went and got that all situated. It was pretty painless. And then me, Chris, his mom, and his brother all went out to get breakfast. And we went to this place that like Chris and I were regulars at for years. And we walked in, like they know us by name. My favorite waitress, who loves Harry Potter, was there, and she's like, oh my God, I haven't seen you in so long. We're like, yeah, like we moved to Texas. And she's like, what? So it was fun to get to like catch up with the people at the diner. They're all so cute, so thrilled to see us. And yeah, it was just like a kind of a sweet moment. And so we did that, and then we went back to Haley's house. She and Whitney were both at work, but they have a doggo. His name is Bruce, and we literally just cuddled up with him. He got right in bed with us, and we just cuddled and took like a fat ass nap, basically. And like it's actually so sad. My sister called me today specifically. She's like, I think Bruce just needs to hear your voice. And Bruce is her dog. I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, he's literally been like depressed since you guys left. Like doesn't want to eat, just like keeps going into like the spare room and laying on your bed and looking at her all sad. So he misses his auntie. But yeah, so then me, my dad, my sister, and Chris all went out to dinner to this restaurant called Copper Top that I love. And me and my sister do this thing where we get like, we like both have like the same 2 favorite things. So we just both get one of them and then share and it was delish. And then we came back, and my sister has a GameCube, and there's a game we used to play all the time as a kid called Pac-Man World 2, and she has it, and she finally got a memory card, so we literally played Pac-Man all evening. The next day was my cousin's birthday, which I did mark down, and then we just kind of hung out with Whitney in the morning because Whitney works nights, so she does not go in until 11. So she works like 4 10s. So we just kind of chit-chatted with her. Okay, this will work out that I will not need to use the, what's it called? I won't have to use one of the weird boxes, right? Yeah, this will be good. So, hung out with Whitney, and then, my dad picked us up, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure my dad came and picked us up. We went to the market, and then we went to the mall. Correct. I put this in the wrong order in here by accident. And then Chris, my dad, and I all went to lunch to this place called Brick and Brew. And it was delish, but the service there is always trash, which is why me and Chris had stopped going there. But it's just so good, so it's just so tricky. But we went there with my dad, and then we, went back to Chris's mom, or my dad dropped us off to Chris's mom's house, and then we all drove up to Chris's dad's house, because basically Chris was they're gonna like currently in the process of like selling his dad's car back to the dealership, but they were gonna go pick up his dad's car so that me and Chris could use that while we were there. And they were like doing some cleaning out of stuff, so we went up there, and then once we got back to my sister's house, there's this like pizza shop that has this really good macaroni and cheese. Like, it's a pizza shop, but they're known for their mac and cheese, simply. So I just like ordered that on my phone and went and picked it up, and it was really good, and we played more Pac-Man. And Friday I slept in because why not? And then I texted my friend Caitlin to see like where she was, if she was home. She wasn't. She was at Target, but like ironically I was also pulling on into Target. So that was really fun. Just like said hi to her, got a couple things I needed at Target. Because I had extended my trip, I was like, didn't have enough stuff, which is funny, but so we did that, and then they have this store, I don't know, it used to be a Pier 1 Imports, I don't even know what it's called, Larger Than Life maybe? It's like a comic book store, like a nerd store as I refer to it. And Chris was like, yeah, I want to like go in there, and I'm like, okay, yeah, that's fine. And this was like the soft release for Lorcana, and they shockingly had it. Granted, it was like triple the price that it should be, and I was too dumb to know that, but I bought it. I simply bought it, which we were excited about. And then me and Chris we knew we were going to my dad's for dinner, but that wasn't until later, and we were quite hungry. And so we went to this place that's like famous back where we are from called Hyde's, and they're just known for hot dogs, which, fun fact about Chris, hot dogs are his favorite food. I don't eat hot dogs, but they have a pretty decent grilled cheese. And I say decent because anybody else would probably not think it's very good, but simply, I don't really care who disagrees with me on this one. I personally have zero interest in a fancy grilled cheese. I just straight up want white bread with American cheese. Like, that's what I'm here for. That's what I would like. Don't try to make it fancy. Just keep it simple. This freaking Discord thing just won't stop going off. So I shut his laptop. But yeah, I just like am not a fan of when grilled cheeses are like fancy. I just want to keep it simple. So that's what they have there. They have like really good pickles. I just love pickles. Always have, always will. So that's like a pretty good selling factor. And they have vinegar for their french fries, which again is a selling factor for me because I love vinegar with my french fries. So we went there for lunch. It was good. And then we just kind of like bopped around, went to a couple of different stores. Just were kind of killing time, honestly. Then we went back. Whoa. Then we went back to my sister's, hung out with Whitney until it was time to leave for Din Din. Then we left to go to my dad's house. My dad literally made like £1 million. I think he said 9 pounds or 8 pounds of crab legs. It was so freaking good. So we gobbled that all up, and then Chris and I were going to his friend Seth's house because a bunch of their stream friends were like in town this weekend. So this difference, insane. So we went out there. However, his friend Seth lives like an hour away, and it was nighttime and it was raining, and he lives like in the middle of nowhere where like you better be on high alert because you will otherwise hit a deer. So I was kind of a little bit anxious because like I knew I had to drive home, and it was just like not the vibes. But Chris had fun, and that's what mattered with that one. And then Saturday, I woke up, I was really tired because it's a really late night. And then I went to the market with my dad, and then he dropped me back at Haley's house. And Chris wanted to go to Texas Roadhouse, which is so random. Like, just goes to show you how little there is to do back home, that we resorted to going to a chain restaurant. But we did that, and we like invited Whitney with us, and she was like, no, like, I gotta clean the house, blah, blah, blah. And then we got back, and she like made herself like the nastiest spaghetti I've ever seen in my life. And she was really regretting her decision. Even Haley was like, I don't know why you didn't just go with them. She's like, I don't know, I just thought you like, I didn't want you to be like mad if I didn't clean the house. So there was that. But then me and Chris and the girls just kind of hung out pretty much all weeknight. Like, we just relaxed. And then we went to my sister's favorite restaurant, and they had I think they called it charcuterie, and it was literally like a french fry charcuterie board. There was like waffle fries that were seasoned, tater tots, regular french fries, and sweet potato fries. And I'll be honest with you guys, I typically fucking hate sweet potato fries, but they came with like this whipped maple butter to dip them in, and it was so good. So good. So we did that, then we went back to Haley's house, and again, just kind of chilled. I was so tired, and I packed and got ready to leave because I had to leave literally at like 4 a.m. So Sunday I left. I read on the plane. I don't really know what I was reading, but apparently I read. So I did that, and then I got McDonald's at the Chicago airport. Just got 2 hash browns, and then it was literally time for me to board. I watched YouTube on my phone because I was too tired to read. I came home, and I was trying to take a nap, but I just couldn't fall asleep. My mind was too occupied, and so I watched Love Island, and then I got Sonic, and then I went over to Andrea's house, and we did a D&D one-shot, which is basically like because usually you do what they call a campaign, where it like lasts months most of the time. Sometimes they last years. They last a while. But we're starting a new campaign. We actually just started it this week, real time. And our friend Tony is joining our group for D&D, but he has never played it. So we wanted to do a one-shot with him prior to starting the real campaign so that he could kind of like get a feel for it. So we did that. Only his character for the one-shot was like so dumb, and like all of his abilities sucked ass. So it didn't really sell him on D&D. So it was kind of not the best idea at the end of the day, but nonetheless, he's just kind of down for a good time. So I think he's still happy to be a part of D&D. And I think he seemed to enjoy our actual campaign that we just began a lot more. These foil colors are so pretty with this. I remember the first time I used this spread, I don't even remember what foil I did with it, but like I felt like nothing really went with it, and it was before I had Pearl and Ice in the shop, and like they literally add so freaking much to this spread. It's so pretty. Gotta finish the overlays, and then we will move on to the day by day. Do one of those, as well as one of these. Those are my two favorite boxes, so I knew I wanted to use those. Pop this on here, I suppose. This doesn't really matter. They're all just kind of different seashells and such. Does not really matter what goes where. I don't want to cover up that like clam with the pearl, so we'll do that with the seashell. This type of thing sure reminds me of Ursula, because that's like what's on her necklace that she steals Ariel's voice with. Okay, and this is the base. It is so freaking pretty. And let's zoom in for the day by day. Okay, let us begin. Okay, so none of these weeks coming up are gonna be normal with my normal Monday shit. So I'm gonna be really just tricking everybody. So we're gonna have PO drop, McDonald's, and then I'm gonna mark talking on the phone with Chris. I think I just called him when I got up because he was still at the airport. Such a shit show. And that'll be for YouTube binge. So for post office drop, we've got the mail icon from the mini icons sheet in Pearl. All of the mini icons will be in Pearl, and the scripts will be in Ice. We've got an Ice PO drop in Font Choice 2. We've got the fast food icon from the mini icons sheet in Pearl, as well as a McDonald's custom in Font Choice 2 and Ice. Then for talking on the phone with Chris, I've got the phone icon from SPC, as well as a with Chris custom in Font Choice 2 and Ice. And then for the YouTube binge, we've got the movie clapper from the mini icons sheet, as well as a YouTube binge script in Ice in Font Choice 2. Then down here, I will be marking that I did some filming. I also think it's kind of ironic that this is the spread I'm doing for the week of Chris's dad passing away, because his dad was in the Navy and he was very proud of that. So it's just, I think, kind of cute that this is a nautical kit. I really enjoy that. So that'll be to mark that his dad passed away, and then for McDonald's, and then game night. Use one of these. For filming, we have got the filming camera from the mini icon sheet, as well as a film script in Font Choice 2 and Ice. We've got the angel wings from SPC, and then Andrea offered to like whip up my custom Maltese for me, or customs for me for all of these spreads where like I'm doing a bunch of random shit. So we got one here in Font Choice 2, a custom that says RIP Larry. And then for getting McDonald's, I've got the fast food icon again from the mini icons sheet, as well as a with Andrea custom in Font Choice 2 and Ice. Then for game night, I've got the dice from SPC, as well as a game night script in Font Choice 2 and Ice. On to Tuesday. Do I reorder this so it's actually in order? Maybe I just will do that. So the first thing I will mark is Sonic. And then I'll mark the airport. And then I will mark reading, and that I got Shake Shack. Reading and a good old shakety shacky poo. Okay, so again, we're gonna move Sonic to the first thing. So we've got the Sonic bag from SPC, and I have a Sonic custom, and this is in Font Choice 3 unfoiled. And then for the airport, I have the airplane icon from the mini icons sheet, and then I just have AUS to SYR. I didn't feel the need to mark like that flight and my layover separately. And for reading, we've got the book stack from SPC, as well as a read script in Font Choice 2. For Shake Shack, since I just got fries, I just used the fry icon from SPC, as well as a Shake Shack custom. Perfect. Now I'm gonna use this to mark that I got delayed like 5 gajillion times. And we'll use some big little things because I talked to Chris for quite some time, for like hours, and then I talked to my sis for even longer. And then I finally using all the blue little things, finally made it back, or to the good old NY. So we have Lottie rolling her eyes, and then I'm just gonna do delayed times 1,000 in ice in font choice 2. Then I have the phone icon from the mini icons sheet in a custom with Chris in silver. I just figured that was the best core color. It literally looks black in that angle, but it's silver. And then I FaceTimed with my sister, so we got the phone icon again, the the smartphone from SPC, and then a custom FaceTime Sissy. And then for finally arriving, we've got the airplane from SPC, and then a finally script in font choice 2 in ice. So the first thing we did this day was go to the funeral home. And then we got lunch with Chris's mother and brother, like I mentioned. And then I cuddled good old Brucey boy and took a nap. Took a thought nap. Okay, so for the funeral home, I do have the car icon from the mini icons sheet, and then a custom funeral home in font choice 2 in ice. And then I have the sticker from That Planner Girl in a custom with Drina and Jeremy in font choice 5 in unfoiled. Then for cuddling with Bruce, we've got the paw icon from SPC, as well as a cuddle script from SPC in silver. Then for the nap, I've got this vanilla from Papershire, just conked, and a nap script from SPC in silver. Then down here, I'm gonna mark that we got dinner with my dad. And we did run to Target so I could grab a couple of things. And then we played Pac-Man. Perfect. So for Copper Top, I've got Lottie with her fork and knife, as well as a custom Copper Top script in font choice 2 in ice. And then for Target, we've got the Target bag from SPC, and then a shopping script. This was in the foil bundle, but it's font choice 6 in ice. Then for Pac-Man, we've got the gaming controller from SPC, as well as a Pac-Man custom in font choice 2 in ice. And that's the first half. Moving on to the second half. We'll mark that it was my cousin Terry's birthday, and then hung out with Whitney, and went to the market and the mall. Market, mall. Okay. So for Terry's birthday, we have got the cake icon from the mini icon sheet, as well as a custom Terry script in font choice 2 in ice. For hanging out with Whitney, I have these two friends from the Coffee Monsters Co., and then a custom with Wit in font choice 2 in ice. For going to the market, I've got the shopping bag icon from the mini icons sheet, as well as a market script in font choice 2 in ice. And then we went to like a game store at the mall, so I used the playing card icon from the mini icons sheet, as well as a mall script in font choice 2 in ice. Then for down here, I'm gonna mark that we went, this is another thing I put in the wrong order prior, so we're gonna fix it now. Okay. Gonna mark first that me and Chris and my dad went out to lunch, because we did that first, and then we went up to Chris's dad's house. That's the right order. Then I got Antonio's, which was the macaroni and cheese, and we played Pac-Man. Okay, so for Brick and Brew, we've got the place setting icon from the mini icon sheet, and then a custom Brick and Brew in font choice 4 unfoiled. If we're going to Larry's, I have a trash bag because they did a lot of cleaning out garbage, in a Larry's custom. And then we've got the takeout bag from SPC in an Antonio's custom in font choice 2 in ice. And then for playing Pac-Man, we've got another gaming controller, and I just used a game night script, honestly, because I missed Pac-Man when I sent her my list. So that's the way it was gonna have to be. First thing I'm gonna mark here is sleeping in, and then I will mark that I bumped into Caitlin while I was out and about, and then we can mark that we found Lorcana and went to the good old hot dog place. So for sleeping in, I've got a vanilla from Papershire, again, all conked out, and a sleep in. This is from the foil bundle, but it's font choice 3 in ice. For Target, I've got the Target bag, and then I'm just gonna put Caitlin because, like, you know, ran into her. And then for finding Lorcana, I've got this Mickey Mouse balloon and a Lorcana custom in font choice 2 in ice. And then I've got another takeout bag from SPC and a custom hides script in font choice 2 in ice. And then for me and Chris, just bopping around town, I use this label. And then we just simply hung out with Whitney. Went to my dad's for dinner. And then went to Seth's. Okay. So, for me and Chris going shopping around, I have the shopping bag from SPC as well as a gallivanting script for my custom multi in font choice 2 in ice, and then marking with wit exactly the same way. And for going to my dad's for dinner, this does not match, but I don't have many opportunities to use that. It doesn't match too bad. To use the crab legs, then a dad's custom. Then I'm going to use the house icon from the mini icons sheet and a Seth's custom. First thing I'm going to mark on this day is that I was frickety dickety dockin' tired. I was so slipper. And then I went to the market with me Padre. And then me and Chris got Texas Roadhouse, and we just kind of hung out with Whitney. So for being tired, I got that same vanilla from Papershire and a custom tired as, or not custom, this is just in the shop, tired as fuck in font choice 5 in ice. It was also the foil bundle. I've got the grocery cart to mark going to the market, and then a with dad script in font choice 2 in ice. For Texas Roadhouse, we've got the takeout bag from SPC and a custom Texas Roadhouse script in font choice 2 in ice. For just hanging out, we got the couch icon from SPC as well as a with sis and wit script in font choice 5 unfoiled. And then down here we will mark that we got dinner with the girlies, and then just kind of relax. And then I packed, which is making me feel emo. It wasn't like emotional really leaving because like I knew I was coming back, but now like I genuinely don't know when I'll see my sister again. I can't really think about it too hard or I will begin to cry. I freaking love my sister more than anything on this planet. So for the french fry, for getting the fry cootery, I think I have a picture of it maybe. I shall show it to you. Speaking of my sister, she just texted me. I love that girl. The fry cute. Yep, here it is. So good. So to mark the fries, we're gonna put this in. And then for relaxing, we've got another couch icon from SPC. Those icons, the couches just come in so clutch. And then a relax script in font choice 2 in ice. And then we've got a luggage from SPC and then a pack script in font choice 2 in ice. And the first thing on Sunday that I'm gonna mark is that I used almost all the patterned labels. That's insanity. Okay, we're gonna start with this to mark Syracuse to Austin, and then I did a little bit of reading. It was just I was like way too tired to read. Like my eyes, so heavy. I got got McDonald's at that airport, and then I like downloaded a bunch of YouTube videos and just watched those. Airplane from the mini icons sheet, and then SYR to AUS. And then I've got this book stack from SPC, and then a read script and font choice 2 in ice. And then for McDonald's, I got the hash brown from SPC as well as a McDonald's script, and this is in font choice 6 in silver. Got the movie clapper icon from the mini icons sheet as well as a YouTube binge script and font choice 2 in ice. And then watched Love Island and got some Sonic, and then we played D&D. Need a green box for spread's actually so freaking pretty. Oh. So for watching Love Island, I'm just gonna use this TV icon from the mini icons sheet as well as a binge watch script and font choice 5 in ice. And then for Sonic, we got the Sonic bag from SPC and the same custom Sonic script in font choice 3 unfoiled. And then for D&D, I have this Once More with Love, like little gremlin looking dude, or goblin I mean. And I'm gonna layer it with the D20 from my shop in black foil, and then just put the game night script on there. And that is it. Let me zoom on out, show you what we got left. Oh, that light is like not doing the best for this spread. But okay, here is the finished spread. I think it looks absolutely stunning. What I have left, most of that page, I only used 3 stickers. I used like almost all of that page. I used a bunch of that page. We've got that stuff here. We've got a bunch of those bigger boxes left over. 2 overlays this page, but I saved those for one of my friends because she likes the little layering bits. We've got the icons and headers left over, scripts and the essentials stuff. The page flags, some deco bits. We've got that girl and that girl, another full box, and the date covers. We've got the dolphin, and we've got one of each colored underlay. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you did not, then, well, give it a thumbs down. Either way, you're helping out my channel. Comment down below, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.